In my career, I worked with Power Center, IDQ, MDM. In MDM, for past 6 years, I worked with MDM. My primary skill is Informatica, Power Center, and IDQ. And in my last project, I worked with MDM, Informatica, MDM. Okay, so I'll be MDM trainer for this session. So I would like to give quick introduction on MDM. Like today, as it's a demo, I would like to explain what is Informatica MDM or else what is MDM and what is the need of MDM, and I quickly explain the architecture of MDM. I don't want to waste time in telling what is MDM and all those things, because I hope you people have an idea what is MDM. MDM stands for Master Data Management. MDM stands for Master Data Management. Identifying the master data. Data is nothing but information, right? Data is nothing but information. So whatever you do, everything you get in the form of data. You require good data and you ignore the data which is not important to you, right? The good data leads your business, helps in making revenue, helps for analysis purpose, etc. And the data which is not required, you can just ignore. So whatever you do, everything deals with data. Data is nothing but information. Okay. So nowadays, like let's take an example of a telecom domain. If you take an example of Airtel, if Airtel have introduced only with one product, like as you know, Airtel provides different services like prepaid service, postpaid service, broadband connections, digital connections, etc. So if Airtel would have entered into the market with only one product or with only one services, then down the line it will be out from the market, because the competitors are entering with multiple products. So what they do, the main aim of any business to survive is first retain the existing customer, then fetch the new customer. This is the main goal of any business what you do, right? So when you are expanding your business, when you are growing your business, what's happening? A lot of data pollution is happening. When you are expanding the business, that means customers are growing. When customers are growing, data is growing. When data is growing, it's becoming tough to handle the data. So end of the day, when you like to analyze information about the customer, which you are getting from different channels, if I would like to take broadband connection or postpaid connection, I may register in n number of ways. I can directly go to the customer store, I can register services over there, or else through internet by filling some application form I can register, or else calling to the customer care people over the phone I can register for the service, right? So there are a number of ways where you can register, you can enroll yourself and you can take the product. So here what's happening, business is getting the data from different channels. Okay. So end of the day, if you like to analyze the customer, you're not getting the complete 360-degree view of customer. Instead of that, you are ending up with duplicates. Because the same customer John can use your prepaid service, postpaid service, broadband connections. But end of the day, you are ending up with duplicates in your end system. The main goal of MDM is to identify the master data. The main goal of MDM is to represent the best version of truth. The deduplication process is done by MDM. MDM is a software which is used to execute the deduplication process and represent the best version of truth. Okay. So here, what's happening? Let me give you a small example. One fine day, I got a call. Customer care got a call from the person who has enrolled broadband connection or whatever it is. One fine day he called to the customer care and he escalated saying that for past 3 to 4 hours I'm not getting internet. Could you please fix it as early as possible? Then, as you know, customer care people will answer, please wait for a while, let me check in my database with is this your registered mobile number, or else please tell me your registered mobile number so that I'll fetch you your details. And when you provided your mobile number and when customer care started to fetch your information, filing a query on the database, what's happening? Customer care people is not able to fetch your information. Instead of getting the broadband connection details, the plan what you have enrolled or whether you are the existing user of Airtel broadband connection, etc. First of all, customer care people from their database, they are not able to fetch any information of yours, or else if they could fetch also, they are fetching some other service information. So with this, you're not able to serve the customer. When you're not able to serve the customer, then obviously you'll lose the customer, right? So if you have MDM in place, MDM has a strong match and merge mechanism. MDM has strong match and merge mechanism, and it will try to identify the best version of truth. Okay, so here, let me give you a small example. If you see here, if you see here, these are the different source systems from where I'm getting the data. Source system is nothing but a system which provides the data, right? A system which provides the data is called as source system. It can be internet system, it can be Oracle database, it can be SQL Server database, it can be flat files, anything where the information got collected or where the customer data got collected. So let us assume these are the different source systems: prepaid, postpaid, internet system. From three systems, from three databases, you are getting the customer data. Let us assume from this system I am getting 100 records, from this system I am getting 100 records, and from this system I am getting some n number of records. End of the day, what happened? MDM has executed the match process. Match process as a common man. See, a lot of things to discuss about matching, but I'll explain about matching in deeper when I get into the session, because matching itself takes 4 to 5 hours. So at this point of time, let me explain as a common man what is matching. Obviously, this is not going to do in MDM. Matching, there is different strategy like exact match, fuzzy match, and there's a concept called as SSA nameplay algorithm that is going to happen in the backend. But as a common man, what is the meaning of matching? Comparing two records with each other, and identifying whether they are exactly match or different records. Here two things: exact match, possible match, no match. When you execute the match process, this will be the output. Exact match, there is no variations in it. A equal to A. Possible match, A equal to space A or uppercase equal to lowercase A, something like this. No match. Okay. So when you execute the match process in MDM, it compares two records with each other and try to identify whether they are exactly matched or different. Okay. Then what happens? Your matching will create a pair. When you execute the match process, two things are going to happen in the backend: creation of match pair, execution of match pair. So these are the match pair which got created after you execute the match process on the source data. So John Smith, John K. Smith. These three records belong to the same customer. These three entries belong to the same customer. Now, what is the main goal of MDM? I don't want to see duplicates in my system. I don't want to see duplicates in my system. End of the day, I would like to see a best version of truth, consolidated record. Now the question is, I'm just considering name into the picture. I'm just considering name into the picture. John, you're getting from prepaid system. John Smith, you're getting from postpaid system. John K. Smith, you're getting from internet system. Now the question is, John coming from which source system will be survival? John coming from which source system will be survival? In the back end, there's a concept called as trust. This is very important in MDM. There's a concept called as trust. Trust is nothing but genuinity of the source system. Trust is nothing but genuinity of source system. So in MDM, data architects prior to MDM, before you start MDM project, prior to MDM, data architects will do lot of data profiling on the source systems. Data architects will do lot of data profiling on the source systems. When you work with Informatica, MDM, 90% people work with IDQ, Informatica Data Quality. So If you are aware of IDQ, in IDQ, there is a concept called as profiling, standardization, match and consolidation. IDQ also has match and consolidation, nothing but match and merge. And MDM also has match and merge. Then what is the difference between IDQ and MDM? Let me tell you. Okay. So in IDQ, data architect will do a lot of profiling. You have a concept called as column level profiling. They do a lot of profiling on the source systems and they will try to analyze the genuinity of the source system. The column coming from which source system is more genuine. Based on that, what they are going to do, they'll assign the trust score in this way. This way they are going to assign the trust score. If you see here, if you see here, these are the different source systems in my project. I just prepared a case study. CKR, MLO, MCCS, Chamber of Commerce, COC, Fiber, lookup systems, enterprise data warehouse, OCR. These are the different source systems. These are the different source systems which are contributing data to MDM. Okay. These are the different source systems which are contributing data to MDM. I'm just considering name attribute. I'm just considering name attribute. If you see here, name I'm getting from CKR system, name I'm getting from MLO system, name I'm getting from MCCL system. Let us consider these three source systems. Now what happened? MDM has identified, let us assume a particular customer coming from three source systems belong to the same and three entries coming from a different source system belong to the same customer. Then which name is going to be survived. Either John is going to be survived or John Smith coming from postpaid is going to be survived or John K. Smith coming from internet system is going to be survived. So which column coming from which source system will be survived? This is based on the trust score. So if you see here, in the back end, name coming from CKR 60%, name coming from MLO 70%, name coming from 80%, name coming from MCCS system 80% plus score. So obviously the name which you get from MCCS system, that will be survivor. This is called trust score. This is called trust score. So who defined this trust score? How to define this trust score? Prior to MDM, before you get into MDM, data architect, here in MDM we call them as data stewards. They do a lot of profiling on the source systems. They do a lot of profiling on the source system and they will analyze the genuinity of the source system. The column coming from which source system, how much trust I need to assign. And there is another concept, I'm giving you a very high level of MDM, what MDM do. So there's a concept called as trust and validation. So trust is a mechanism which identifies the column coming from which source system need to be survivor. This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? Trust is a mechanism which identifies the column coming from which source system need to be survivor. Then what is this validation rules? Validation rules. Let us assume I'm getting name from CKR, MLO. These are the source systems. It can be any name. In my project, this is the business name. So I'm just taking this case study. So CKR is not a database. It's just a business name. CKR, MLO, MCCS. Okay, these are the three different source systems from where I'm getting a customer name. And if you see in the back end, if a name comes from CKR system, he has assigned 60 trust score. If a name comes from MLO system, 70% trust score is assigned. If a name comes from MCCS, 80% trust score is assigned. Let us assume I'm getting something like this. John K. Okay, and I'm getting something like JO, something like this. JO, something. Okay, but if you see here, I'm getting Mdm records. MDM has identified these three records belong to the same customer. Now, which name coming from which source system will be survivor? Obviously, JO coming from MCCS system will be survivor because that column coming from MCCS has more trust score. If you identify JO as a golden record, that doesn't make any sense. If you identify JO as a golden record, that doesn't make any sense because it's not a complete name. right? This will mislead you. Here comes the concept called as validation rules. Whatever input data you get from source, you can write the filter conditions or you can write the validation rules, and if your input data is met with the validation rule what you define, you can decay the trust score. Let us assume I defined a validation rule stating that if is null of name or length of name, okay, length of name less than equal to 3 characters, then what I want to do, I want to decay the trust score by 30%. Then what is going to happen? If your input records are satisfied with the validation rule what you define, then let us assume that column coming from that system has 90% trust score, it will be decreased with 30%, that will come around 60%. Then what is going to happen? The next competitive system is going to be survival. The next competitive system is going to be survival. This is the concept of validation rules. Trust and validation rules. This plays a very key role in MDM. So whenever you hear terminology trust and validation, just you need to understand after the match got completed in MDM, when pair got created, when similar or exact records got identified by MDM, and when you are going to execute the consolidation process, or when you are going to execute the merge process, trust plays a key role. Trust is a mechanism which identifies the column coming from which source system need to be survivor. Trust is a mechanism which identifies the column coming from which source system need to be survivor. Then what is the concept of validation? To decay the trust score, you can define the validation rules, and if your input records are met with the validation rules what you define, you can decay the trust score and you can make the next competitive system as survivor. This is the concept of trust and validation. So here, this example if you see, after your match got completed, MDM has created these 3 records belong to the same customer, and you just execute the job which is called as merge process. Nothing but consolidation. When you execute the merge process, what happens? These 3 Johns will be consolidated into a single entry, and which name will be survivor that depends upon the trust score. So if you see here, John Smith, John K. Smith, and this is the master data, nothing but golden record, best version of truth. If you see here, John K. Smith has survived. It doesn't mean that John K. Smith is lengthy, that's the reason it has survived. No. In the back end, when you are consolidating a record, trust plays a key role. The column coming from which source system has more trust score that is going to be survived. In the same way, first name from postpaid has survived, middle name from internet system has survived, last name from postpaid, address from postpaid, and date of birth from prepaid. So in the back end, you are going to define the trust score based on that particular column will be survived. Okay, this is the concept of match and merge. Now, what is the difference between IDQ and MDM? So many of people ask about this. IDQ, Informatica Data Quality, which is exclusively developed for profiling, data profiling. You can profile the source data. See, before getting anything into your system, first of all, you need to analyze how much quality of data you are getting from source system. When you are working in data warehouse project or when you are working in MDM, whatever it is, first you need to analyze the genuinity of the source data. How much bad data you have in source system and how much quantity of good data you have in source system. That is analyzed by IDQ by executing the profiling. So the main concept of IDQ is profiling. You do a lot of things over there: column level profiling, midstream profiling, join analysis profiling. You can, using IDQ, you can determine whether 2 tables can I join. If I join these 2 tables, how many orphan records I get, and is this a joint condition suitable to join 2 tables, or can I go with more than one joint condition? This all information you get by executing the join analysis profiling. In the same way, you have column level profiling. Column level profiling is something when you run the profiling report, you'll come to know the column coming from which source system, how many duplicate records are there in that particular field, and how many unique values are there, how many nulls you are getting, and what is the pattern you are getting in that particular field, and what is the maximum length of data you are getting in that field, etc., etc. Those things you'll be getting from profiling. And also in IDQ, you do a lot of standardization. IDQ is exclusively used for standardization. IDQ has a strong mechanism for this reference systems, this regular expressions, all standardizations like mobile number standardizations. All these things are done in IDQ. And IDQ also has a concept called as match and merge. IDQ also has a concept called as match and merge. But in IDQ, what you are doing, you are just eliminating the duplicate. That's it. You are not identifying the master data. So what you mean by eliminating the duplicate? See, in IDQ, how you identify the master data? In IDQ, the master data is identified based on the length of the record, or else minimum length. You can define the rules. If three records, IDQ has identified these three records belong to the same customer, then how you are going to consolidate in IDQ? Okay, if the length of the record is maximum, then make it as survivor. If the length of the record is less, then make it as survivor. There are different algorithms over there. So in IDQ, there is no concept of master data. In MDM, there's a concept, exclusively MDM is used to identify the master data. How the master data is identified in MDM? By using trust. Trust plays a very key role. Trust is a mechanism which identifies the column coming from which source system needs to be survived. So the genuinity of source system, based on that, master data is identified in MDM. Whereas in IDQ, there is no concept of master data. Okay, so if you are looking for a break in MDM, only MDM is enough. And if you have a power center exposure, your resume will have big weightage, because to identify the master data, to get the best version of truth, what you require? You require source data. You require data. Once you get data, then only you will identify the master data, right? Once you get the data, then only you identify the master data. So from different channels, you get the data. So who is going to pull the data from different channels and dump into MDM? This job is taken care by ETL. If you are working with Informatica MDM, 90% they go with Informatica Power Center. Let me tell you, I'll come to that point. Just give me some time. Okay, if you see the architecture, I'm not going to explain this architecture because it's a bit lengthy. I would like to take it in the next session. As this is just a demo, watch prerequisites, and after completing this course, what you are capable, that I'll try to cover in this session. So architecture session, I'll be taking in the next session. No worries. So if you see here guys, this is the hexagon diagram, what you are able to see here. This is where the roles and responsibility of an MDM developer lies. Okay, the hexagon diagram what you are able to see here, this is where the roles and responsibility of an MDM developer lies. Okay, these are the source systems. I told you, a system which provides the data, a system where information got collected, right? That is source systems. So who will provide the data from source system to MDM? Okay, this job is taken care by ETL team. This is out of box to an MDM developer. This is out of box to an MDM developer. When MDM developer responsibility starts, once the data got loaded into landing area, from here the roles and responsibility of an MDM developer starts. So how to get the data? This is out of box to MDM developer. But your resume will have weightage if you have a power center exposure. Because it's not mandatory, like if you are working on MDM, then you need to stick with only MDM. In IT, you people know you have to work with multiple skills. So definitely, if you have a power center exposure, your resume will have weightage. But if you don't know power center, then also it's fine. Power center is not a showstopper. Okay. Next question, let me answer. How much I need to know, like, is it mandatory? I need to know IDQ. So IDQ is also not a showstopper to work with MDM. IDQ is not a prerequisite to get into MDM. But See, when you're working with MDM, I was just explaining about trust and validation rules. I was explaining about trust scores, right? And I told you before getting things in MDM, first of all, you need to define the trust scores and you need to define the match rules. Okay, let me come to the point. So I was just explaining how you define the trust scores. Trust scores are identified based on profiling the data, right? So based on profiling the data, you'll come to know the genuinity of source system. If you don't profile the data, how would you understand the column, which column coming from which source system is more genuine? So to create the trust score, profiling is very important. And I was explaining about matching, right? So what I told, I don't want to talk much about matching at this point of time, but as a layman, matching is something which compare two records with each other. That's what I was trying to tell you, right? So generally, if I have 15 columns in a table, do you compare 15 columns for all the input records? No. You define a match rule. You define a match rule. Let us assume I define a match rule saying that if a customer name, email ID, and phone number, if these three columns got matched for the input data, then go for match. Okay. So whatever, when you run the match process, whatever dump you get from source, those will check with the match rule what you define. Name, email ID, phone number. If the input records are met with the match rule contains group of match columns, combination of match columns. So if the input records, if the in, is a landing table always RDBMS? Yes. MDM supports, MDM can be installed in three databases. MDM installed in three databases: Oracle, MySQL, DB2. Other than this, as of now, MDM supports only these three databases. So yeah, your understanding is perfect. It can be either Oracle, MySQL, or DB2. As of now, down the line, it might get enhanced, but as of now, MDM supports only three databases. When I say three databases, it's not, it supports three source systems. As you know, MDM is a GUI tool. MDM is a GUI tool, graphical user interface tool, right? As a developer, you'll be working on GUI tool, but it doesn't have any storage area. Whatever code you are going to develop, everything stores in a database. I'm talking about that database. That database in MDM supports Oracle, MySQL, DB2. Coming to source systems, it can support a number of source systems. It can support flat files, RDBMS, SAP systems, real-time systems. You can get data from different channels. I'm talking about the internal storage area. Whatever code you are going to develop, everything stores in a database, right? So that database I'm talking about. Yeah, that's true. Metadata. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Repository table. Repository tables. Here also you call same repository tables. That's right. That's right. Okay. So where I was like, yeah, I define a match rule. Match rule contain a combination of match columns. But the question is how the match rules are defined. Who will define this match rule? Will MDM developer define this match rule? Yes, sometimes MDM developer will define the match rule. But to define the match rule, what all I need to know? First of all, you need to understand the business. First of all, you need to understand the business, you need to understand the domain knowledge, then you need to know data quality, IDQ. You need to know IDQ. By doing the profiling only, you are going to define the match columns. See, let us assume you have a column called as email ID. When you add email ID in a match rule, when you are getting email ID from all the source systems and when you are getting a valid data, you add the email ID in a match rule. From two source systems, you are getting an email ID. From some other system, you are getting, from third system, you are getting nulls in email ID. For some records, you are getting email IDs, and for some records, you are getting nulls, and from some records, you are getting junk data. So if you add email ID in the match rule, what is going to happen? All the time, match columns in match rule acts as AND class. Name, email ID, phone number, right? If these three columns got matched, create a pair. When I define this rule, each column in a match rule acts as AND class. You understand, right? Each column in a match rule acts as AND class. So email ID, name, phone number got matched, but email ID is varying. Then what happens? Those two records will never create a pair, and even you execute match and merge process, you still end up with duplicates. So here, IDQ is not a showstopper. IDQ is not a showstopper. Again, I'm telling you, if your people are in US, then you can acquire the market. In US, IDQ with MDM is very hot. In US, IDQ with MDM is very hot. In US, people expect multiple skills. But if you are looking, if you are searching for a job in India, then only MDM, knowledge with MDM is enough.
Okay, I have a question. Like people talk about more about data stewarding,
Yeah,
data stewardship and
yeah,
data profiling. They would ask more on data profiling.
true.
Is it the same IDQ role? Is that the same data steward means?
Yeah. When you talk about data profiling is completely related to IDQ, nothing to do with MDM. And when you talk about data steward, yeah, data steward, see, you can call data architect as a data steward who has complete knowledge, complete grip on the data, what type of data business is dealing with. Here, if you look at my screen, you have something called as auto merge, manual merge, unmerge. Can you see him?
Right.
Right? So, in MDM, you configure the match rule. Okay, column 1, column 3, column 5. If input records are met with this rule, then go for auto merge. I define another match rule, address, date of birth, name. If input records are met with this match rule, go for manual merge. Okay. Auto merge. As soon as the match pair got created, when you execute the merge process, consolidation is going to happen. Okay. All the input records, with what match rule I define. Okay. If the input records are met with that match rule, I go with auto merge. And I define a match rule. In that match rule, if the input records are satisfied, I configure as manual merge. That means what happens after your match got completed and the input records are satisfied with the match rule for which I configured manual merge. Then what is going to happen when you execute the merge process? Consolidation is not going to happen. A manual human intervention is required. Data steward, here comes the role of data steward. The data
Okay,
steward.
okay. That means it's data profiling, right? Where
Not exactly,
we talk about
not exactly data profiling. Data profiling is different. In MDM, there is no concept of data profiling. I mean, if you host based on data profiling only, you will analyze the trust rules and match rules, match columns, etc. But data profiling word won't come in MDM. Data profiling comes in IDQ, Informatica Data Quality. So here the role of, you were asking me what is the role of data steward. This is what I'm explaining. So data steward is a person who has a complete grip on the data. So what happens, he won't consolidate it. See, you created a match rule and input records are satisfied with that match rule and consolidation got happened. But as you have added wrong match columns in a match rule, two different customers got merged. Then what happens? You get escalation from the business, right? So the match rule what I define, see, in MDM, match rules acts as OR class. In MDM, match rules acts as OR class. I define 5 match rules, let us assume, and I'm having 1,000 records. This 1,000 records will check with first match rule, and whatever records pairs were got created with the match rule, that will be in the MTCH table. These all things I'll explain in the next session. Then remaining records will check in the second match rule, third match rule, fourth match rule. In this way, it acts as OR class. So based on your match rules, you configure the records either to go for auto merge or manual merge. In what scenarios I need to go for manual merge? I'm not 100% sure. The records which are met with the rule what I defined, those belong to the same customer. I'm not 100% sure. What I want to do, before consolidating those entries, I would like to have a review. I would like to have a review. I would like to have a manual check. I would like to have a manual check. And once I feel, yes, this pair belong to the same customer, then I'm going to merge. Here I am is data steward. You understand, right?
yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So if you have
So
ID,
basically, once the data is consolidated, that means we do a validation of that particular data, right?
no. Let me tell you. If With your question, I need to go a bit deeper. I'm not sure like rest of the people can follow or not, but let me explain you. In MDM, if you look at my cursor, anyhow, this session I'm going to explain tomorrow, but let me give you a rough idea. In MDM, there's a concept called as base object. In MDM, there's a concept called as base object. As soon as you create a base object, in the backend, 10 supporting tables are going to be created. But at this point of time, let me talk about only two tables. One is base object, other one is base object underscore cross reference. Okay, one is base object, other one is base object underscore cross reference. Okay, so you're getting data from different channels. Let us assume I'm getting 100 records from different channels. All the 100 records are loaded into base object and all the 100 records are loaded into cross reference. In base object, you have a very important column that is called consolidation indicator. That is called consolidation indicator. When first time record enters into the base object, the consolidation indicator will be 4. When it is under match process, consolidation indicator will be 2. When the match got completed, consolidation indicator will be 2. And when merge got completed, the consolidation indicator will be 1. Okay, let me explain here. 4. New record. 3. Queue for matching. 2. Queue for merge. 1. Golden record. Let me give you a very high level explanation what happens. You are getting data from different channels. You won't directly load into base object. Prior to that, you need to load into stage, then into base. But I'm not very much interested to talk about all that architecture at this point of time. So once the data got loaded into base object, let us assume 100 records you are getting from different channels. So 100 records are loaded to base objects and 100 records are loaded to cross reference. You don't load data into this table. You just load the data into base object. MDM internally loads data into all the supporting tables. Okay. So what happened here? You get 100 records. For all the 100 records, consolidate indicator will be 4. Okay. Then what you do in MDM, the main mechanism of MDM is you execute the match process. When you execute the match process, in matching two things will happen. Creation of match pairs, execution of match pairs. As soon as your match got completed, for each record, consolidate indicator will be 2. In your base object, whenever you see a record with consolidate indicator as 2, that indicates this record went in match process and this record is waiting to merge. This record is queued for merge. And whenever you execute the merge process, pairs will be consolidated into a single entry. Finally, in base object, you see the consolidated record. Here if you see, John Smith, John K. Smith. Here if you have another column called as consolidation indicator. At this point, you understand what will be the consolidation indicator? It will be 2. That means match got completed. This records went in match process and these records are queued for merge. And when you run the merge process, John Smith, John K. Smith, these 3 records will merge into a single record. That is this one. Can you see? Informatica MDM Hub, the first row. John K. Smith, this one. Okay, and for this, what will be the consolidated indicator? It will be 1. So in your MDM, it contains the consolidated record, the best version of truth. Now one fine day, you got a request from the business saying that, boss, I would like to know John's registered mobile number when he applied for broadband connection. I would like to get John's registered mobile number. I would like to get John's registered mobile number for where he has registered for internet system. Okay. Then will you get the registered mobile number looking at this consolidated data? No, this is a consolidated data, right? So how you ensure that the contact number what you see in MDM that you got it from internet system. So here you need to join two tables, base object with cross reference. Base object with cross reference. In base object cross reference, how the 100 records you extracted from source, all the 100 records will be loaded in the cross reference table. And in the base object, consolidated record will be stored. In base object, consolidated record will be stored. Per customer, only one record is stored in the base object. That will be the consolidated record. Whereas in cross-reference, all the multiple instances of the same customer is loaded. What I'm trying to tell you, in the base object, if you look at my cursor, in the base object, this consolidated record is stored. In base object underscore cross-reference, all these three records are stored. Now, to serve business request, what I need to do? I need to join this base object with cross reference. Then I'll get the 360-degree view of customer. These are all things you'll understand when I go with architecture session. Now, what I would like to mainly tell you, Informatica MDM, there is what prerequisites I need to have to get into MDM. If you have SQL knowledge, that is enough. And how much of Java I need to require to work on Informatica MDM. Informatica MDM is only a GUI tool which has 90% GUI features. And other MDMs like Civil MDM, Oracle MDM, especially IBM MDM is very hot in the market. At this point of time in market, Informatica MDM and IBM MDM are the competitive tools. So if you want to work with IBM MDM, you need to have complete Java exposure. Informatica MDM is the only tool where less Java exposure is required. So how much of Java I need to work on MDM? See, to work with MDM, if you have core Java, basic knowledge in Java, that is enough. What all topics, like in MDM, we have concepts called as user exit. In MDM, we have a concept called as user exit, which is used for customization process. If you people are from Power Center background, in Power Center, you have a concept called as source pre-SQL, source post-SQL, target pre-SQL, target post-SQL. So what they mean, before extracting the data from source, if you would like to do some customization, what query you write, that it will perform in the backend, and that output you will get into Informatica. In the same way, target pre-SQL, target post-SQL. If you would like to perform some operation before loading the data, like dropping the indexes and recreating the indexes, this is all you can handle using pre-SQL and post-SQL. In the same way, in MDM also, at the time you start the batch data process flow, like this is the process flow, you'll understand in the next session. The data flows in this way: landing to stage, stage to base objects to match, match to merge, finally master data. In this process, if you would like to control the data, if you would like to do some customization at certain slots, like before extracting the data from land, you would like to do some customization. After loading the data into stage table, you would like to do some customization. After loading the data into base objects, you would like to do some customization. Before you execute the match, you would like to do some customization. This all customizations are handled using user exit, and user exit is developed in Java. User exit is nothing but customization process. Prior to 9.7, right now we are working on 10.1, Informatica MDM 10.1. In 9.7, there is no concept of Java. Those complete user exits were created in packages, and those packages were used to execute in database. You understand, right? After 9.7, they moved this customization to Java. As you know, Java is an ocean. If you know Java, you can do whatever you want. So they have moved this complete user exit to Java. So user exit is the only showstopper if you don't know Java. But trust me, 90% all the user exits are already created. And what I mean to say is all the customization is already created. You just need to edit that customization as per your requirement. It's a very rare scenario where you start designing the code from scratch. It's a very rare scenario, right? So for this, you need to know Java, and rest of the things, if you don't know Java also, that's fine. Okay, so Java and Oracle is a prerequisite. And coming to Java, as I told you, just for Java, basic idea of Java is fine, nothing more than that. And then, do I need to know IDQ and Power Center? If you know, if you have knowledge, definitely your resume will be weighted. But if you don't know, then also it's fine. Then also it's fine. Okay? Because you can check in Naukri and Monster, or if you people are from US, check in DICE. You will understand what responsibilities they are looking when they search for MDM profile. They exclusively look for MDM, but in US they look for multiple skills like IDQ and MDM. Okay, so after the course got completed, definitely you can put 3.5 to 4 years on MDM. That's for sure. And I'm going to share you each session's recording session. I'll share you a recorded session of the topic what we discussed on a daily basis. I'll provide you a lot of material. I have a lot of materials. If you see here, I do have a lot of materials. Okay, I'll be sharing you all these materials. I have a lot of materials. You just need to have some time to sit on it. And coming to server access. Informatica MDM is not like Power Center where you can directly install in your machine. It has some prerequisites like it should be at least 8 GB RAM and there is some license issue with MDM. For this what we have done, we are providing you, we are providing access remotely. We are providing access remotely. We provide this software. This is called Hamachi software. If you see here, this is called Hamachi software. Okay, this is used to connect through from your environment. You can connect to our server remotely using this Hamachi server. It acts as VPN, and this is where we installed MDM. This is where we installed MDM. This is a server. We provide server access, and server access will be fast, no issues in that. At how much time period I have server access? We as of now we decided 6 months you can have server access. For 6 months we'll give you access to the server. So this is a server machine. This is a server machine, and we give access to the server. Okay. Yeah. So this is a quick demo. Please unmute your mic and let me know if you have any questions. And we have documented few interview questions. Those also I'll be sharing.
This server.
I installed Informatica MDM 10.1, which is the latest version in the market. Informatica MDM 10.2 got released, but it has some bugs in it. So as of now, in the market, in all the projects, 10.1 they are using, and we are also providing training on 10.1. We do have 10.2 software, but it has some bugs, so that's the reason we have not installed.
How we are publishing that to the source database? You're saying that you took the scenario saying the customer call center executive is trying to pull the data of the customer, but he's not able to pull single record, the master record, right?
Right.
So you said no. With this process, MDM process, you are trying to identify one single master record.
Right.
So how you are updating back to the source system?
Yeah, that's what. See, that generally that's very important question. Generally, we discuss that in architecture session. MDM receives the data in the same way after identifying the master data. If you want to publish the master data to the downstream subscribers, that doesn't make any sense. Identifying the master data and keep with yourself. You need to publish it. Yeah. How it is done? MDM gets data in two ways, batch mode, real-time mode. MDM gets data in two ways, batch mode, real-time mode. Batch mode, I believe you people are aware of batch mode. Morning 9 to 6 in the business hours, the jobs will, the business, 9 to 6, business happens and the data is collected, and after the business hours, the jobs are triggered, scheduled jobs, whatever business happened in that timestamp, everything you get into MDM. This is called batch mode, which is handled by ETL. You're mostly using Informatica Power Center. And another mode is real-time mode. Real-time mode is something as soon as transaction happened in application source system, immediately the transaction has to get into MDM. Okay, that is called real-time mode. In MDM, the real-time mode, the inbound real-time mode is handled by SIF, which is called Service Integration Framework. Inbound real-time mode is handled by SIF, which is called Service Integration Framework. Inbound batch mode is handled by ETL. Inbound batch mode is handled by ETL. In this way, you get data into MD. Okay. After you identifying the master data, you need to publish your master data to the downstream subscribers. It can be any system, data warehouse, ERP system, Oracle system. It can be anything. Okay. Outbound, again two modes. Outbound batch mode, outbound real-time mode. Outbound batch mode, okay, nothing but schedule jobs using ETL tools. You extract, you connect to the MDM base objects, you pull the data and you dump it to the downstream subscribers. That is done through ETL, okay. An outbound real-time service that is handled by JMS queue, Java Message Service Queue. You need to configure a queue, and the queue you need to bind with MDM hub, and whatever event happened in MDM, if a new record got inserted in base object, if an existing record got updated, or if two records got merged, or if a particular, or if consolidated record got splitted, or only cross reference got updated, whatever change happens in MDM, that change has to immediately replicate to the third party system via JMS queue through XML messages. So how you receive the data? In the same way you publish the data. So while receiving the data, it is done through batch mode, real-time mode. Batch mode handled by ETL, real-time mode is handled by SIF. In the same way, after you identify the master data, you need to publish the data using batch mode or real-time mode based on the project to project. It depends upon the project requirement. Outbound batch mode is handled by ETL and outbound real-time mode is handled by JMS. I hope it answers your question.
Right, but how about the unmatched record where we are trying to pull the record, or where we are trying to store that record, because we are not going to publish the record at the...
Yeah, I understand. At this point of time, you don't understand because I need to explain you the architecture. In MDM, 10 supporting tables are created, but at this point of time, I'm not interested. Tomorrow session, I'll be telling you this. In MDM, if you see here, 10 supporting tables are going to be created. Okay? 10 supporting tables are created. In this table, you find the consolidated record, and these are the supporting tables which answers your question. MTCH table, HMRG table, STRP table. These are the tables which answers your question, but I need to explain the significance of each table. So please be patient. Tomorrow I'll try to answer your question. I mean, tomorrow your question will be answered.
So how long are you taking each session?
1 hour session. Today it's just a demo. I just wanted to explain what all things, what all prerequisites and what all things you get from this course, and just a quick introduction what is MDM. That's it, not more than that. So tomorrow I'll get into architecture. Tomorrow you'll understand most of the things. So today it was just a rough overview of MDM.
Yeah, Vamshi, actually, in my situation, I'm trying to know about more towards data stewardship and the profiling part. So what do you suggest? Like, do you want me to go with the IDQ?
See, if data steward, I'll be explaining. It's not a big deal. It's just using the GUI tool, and as a training session, I'll show you how to do manual merge, how to do unmerge. These all things I'll be explaining. The roles of data steward, I'll be explaining you. Coming to profiling, you need to go with IDQ.
Okay, okay.
And IDQ is exclusively for profiling, data profiling, and it's very simple, very simple.
So just last question, Vamshi, sorry.
Asking. You can ask a number of questions, not a problem.
How do we compare with the Talent? Because Talent is also one of the open source tool in the market, which is cheaper than the Informatica, right? Where with one license of Informatica, we can buy maybe 10 or more than 10 of open source, right? So how do we compete this tool in the market with the Talent?
I can tell you, like Talent, they say that it's an open tool, open source, but the feature what you require, definitely you need to go with license. That is the main trick. They'll tell you open source, but they won't give you 100% of, 100% access to the tool. Only 60% access you get. The important things what you require, definitely you need to go with license. And Informatica MDM, Informatica has not developed this product. Informatica Power Center, Informatica IDQ, Informatica ILM, Informatica PIM, Informatica Big Data Edition. Informatica has not launched, Informatica has not invented this product. Informatica has acquired this product. Let me give you a legacy of this in MDM. This product was first called as CMS, Consolidation Material Abstraction. There was a separate company who has developed this product and they named it as CMS. Okay. Then what happened? MRM has acquired this product and they named it as MRM. Then in 2005, Cyperion has acquired this product and they named it as Cyperion MDM. I believe you are familiar with Cyperion MDM. Cyperion has acquired in 2005 and they named it as Cyperion MDM. From 2005 to 2010, in this timestamp, this product was with Cyperion, but they were hardly having only 10 clients. In 2010, Informatica has acquired this product, and once Informatica has acquired this product, they spend lot of money on advertising. They have not enhanced much new things on the tool, but they spend lot of money on advertising, and now in the market there are some 200 to 300 clients. So Informatica is a big vendor who invested, who is still spending a lot of money on this tool, and Informatica MDM is the only GUI tool which provides you complete GUI. Coming to Talent, IBM, these are completely Java based. And when you talk about licensing, it depends upon the brand. So that I can't comment. Because when you work with Power Center, Informatica Power Center and IBM Data Stage, Informatica is a costly license. But people go with Power Center because the brand of the company and the features and the performance what you have in Informatica is obviously fast.
But Informatica, we have to buy all these three. We need a Power Center, IDQ, MDM in order to have a data.
Let me come to the point.
If the talent does everything, right, Vamshi?
Yeah, let me come to the point.
Talent.
In MDM, when you are working with MDM, for this question, when you are working with the MDM, you can't force client, boss, if you would like to standardize the data, then go with ETL or go with IDQ. If you tell that way, then definitely client has to buy Power Center license and client has to buy DQ license. MDM also provides you a basic feature where you can clean the data. If you see here, this is stage process. So MDM also has the features what ETL do. In ETL, what you do, we generally extract the data and we transform the data, right? We clean the data. In MDM also we can clean the data, and in MDM also there is a concept called as mappings. But this is not that much powerful as ETL, but you can standardize the data in MDM before loading the data into base object. You might get a question why we need to standardize, that I'll explain you later. But MDM also provides you flexibility to standardize the data, that I can tell you. If you go with talent, I'm not sure, will you get everything like ETL, profiling, master data identifying in one tool? I believe you won't get it. When you talk about data warehousing, then you can say ETL reporting both comes with the same tool. But I don't think in MDM, in Talent MDM or IBM MDM, you won't get ETL and profiling all the features in a single tool. Because in my career, I work with two MDM tools. Other MDM tools I'm really not much aware. I work with Civil MDM and I work with Informatica MDM. So when I used to work with Civil MDM, in Civil MDM, you can't handle any ETL features. At least you can't standardize the data as well. Definitely you have to go with either ETL or DQ. But MDM provides you a flexibility to standardize the data. So I think going with Talent MDM, you get all ETL and DQ features. But what you told is, yeah, it's an open source. It's an open source, so you can easily get it. That's true, but brand plays a key role and performance plays a key role.
I just read somewhere so that.
Yeah, that's true. But it depends upon, it's a very high level deal. We can't tell, whether they go for Talent MDM or Informatica MDM. It depends upon, getting the product, and if client requires Talent MDM, then you have to go for Talent MDM. If client says that I can't offer for Informatica MDM, I can't offer license for Informatica MDM, I would like to go for Talent. Both has its own advantages and disadvantages. Informatica, like performance will be very fast in Informatica and debugging will be very easy in Informatica.
So on which version are we going to work?
We are going to work on MDM 10.1, but in the market 10.2 got released, but no one got updated to 10.2. There are some bugs. So as of now, Informatica MDM 10.1 is the latest in the market.
Okay. I think a few years back, I think some other company got acquired by Informatica, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I just told you. Informatica has not developed this product. This product was acquired with, this product was with Siberian MDM. From Siberian MDM, Informatica has acquired this product. When this product was with Siberian, as I just told you, there were hardly 10 to 15 clients. But when Informatica acquired this product, they invested a lot of money. And now, just Google Naukri and Monster. And now at this point of time, there are more than 200 to 300 clients.
కాల్ వెళ్దాం అనుకున్నా జస్ట్ ఒక డెమో వింటున్నా MDM గురించి మాస్టర్ డేటా మేనేజర్ ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకంటే మెయిన్ డేటా గురించి అదే కదా ఇప్పుడు
Okay, so that is the concept. So okay, any more questions? Okay guys, then if you don't have any questions, I'm just closing this session. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you and thanks for your time.
On weekend sessions as well, Vamshi?
Generally, I plan Monday to Friday, but sometimes I'll be taking weekend session.
Okay. And also, would you be covering, how does MDM, integrate with any big data tools, or it doesn't?
MDM, yeah, MDM can extract the data from big data. It can extract the data from different source systems. It can, but as you know, in training session, I can't show you that. I just pull the data from platforms or database and I show you.
Okay, but will you be able to cover at least theoretical part how the system will integrate with big data systems, maybe?
No, Sridhar, I'm really sorry. I did not get a chance to look into that, so I never integrated MDM with big data. So
because these days everybody.
I'll try to explore, and if I found any
running behind big data.
Your voice is breaking.
These days everybody is running behind big data, right? So just asking whether.
Yeah, that's true, but let me check. I never integrated with big data, so see, definitely when you work, then only you get opportunity to explore. So I never integrated with big data, but no worries. If I get some information, I'll share that. Okay, that's for the day. Thank you.